The Thrivehood podcast is a relevant life roadmap for boys and young men who want to thrive as they mature into manhood. I'll be your host, Tim Williams, and welcome to Thrivehood. Yes, that is right. This is the Thrivehood podcast. I'm Tim Williams, and I'm your host, and I have a little announcement to make. The Thrivehood podcast website is up and running, and it's basically that, thrivehoodpodcast.com. Again, thrivehoodpodcast.com. Go check it out. If you're wanting to tell friends or family or anybody about the podcast, they can actually go there, as well as any of the apps that you listen to podcasts on generally. Whichever the way works best for you, that's great, or your people that you're talking to, but feel free and check it out. You can also reach me there now if you have questions, comments, you want to bat around some thoughts or ideas, whatever, you can reach me there as well. Again, thrivehoodpodcast.com. Today's episode, the 3 relationships that are worth maintaining. I sort of call it the triad relationship. And here's really the takeaway. I believe that if you have someone that is teaching you, you have someone that is training you, and you have someone that understands you, you have a really good nucleus there to develop a well-roundedness in your life as it relates to life in general. Look, the idea and the goal of Thrivehood is to be as strategic as you can in your growing up and in your planning and as you move up to the next stage and the next rung of life. And I think this fits very nicely into that whole concept. So let's dive in. There are 3 what I would consider relationships that I would try to first of all find and maintain as much as you can. The first one is what I would call the apprentice relationship. So let me expound on that. This is a relationship that you are the apprentice. You are the one that is under leadership, under the direction of someone that is some type of elder or the sage, you may call them, that has a little bit of experience, has been there and done that, has got a little bit of dirt under their fingernails, so to speak. Their boots are a little worn. You know what I mean? They've just been there and done that. They have life experience on many different levels. But there's someone that you can periodically get together with over a cup of coffee and just say, tell me a little bit about what's going on right now. What do you see in the world? Or what's a philosophy that you could share that I could learn? Always just trying to glean something from this individual that would be willing to share and to help pour into you a little bit. I think that is crucial. I think that's important for us to have someone that's older than us that is able to share and is able to give insight. Now listen, I want to clarify something here. You're not going to find the perfect person, the perfect guy, because that guy doesn't exist, okay? So if this individual has some flaws and some issues, which they probably will, but you can tell that this individual can give you some insight, some wisdom, some knowledge, at least something that you feel you can take away from it, then by all means go after that individual and talk to them about, hey, would you be willing for a period of time to just, pour into my life? I would love to just be able to get some wisdom and some knowledge and try to gain some understanding. And I think that would be crucial for you. The second relationship that I think is important is to have what I would call your contemporary. In other words, someone that is on your level, someone that's around your age, someone that has got some similar life experiences, someone that for the most part you can connect with. And this could be just be a buddy, just a friend. That's typically what I would suggest it be, just somebody that is a peer to you. And the reason that I say that, and this probably sounds like a duh, Tim, of course we have friends, but it's important. You need somebody that's got your back and somebody that you can have their back, somebody that understands you, somebody that gets it when you're frustrated because dad is just going off on you about something or whatever, right? Your guardians are, all over you because your schoolwork isn't up to par, whatever the case. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have good schoolwork, but my point to this is simply, it's good to just have somebody that you can vent to, somebody that's understanding. We talk a lot about in the military circles of, the band of brothers, and it's sort of that same concept, although it's more one-on-one, but you get what I'm saying. There's just somebody that's there, and that you have a rotten day, you can sort of share it with them. If you have a victory, you can share it with them, and they're going to be with you. And I think you having someone that's there next to you instead of in front of you, as though I would say the apprentice, if you were sort of giving a visual picture, you would see the apprentice that's further down the road and is, conveying information. The contemporary is someone that's with you, walking life side by side, shoulder to shoulder with you. And then you have you becoming the mentor. You are the one that is now on the front lines, and you're actually reaching, sort of have a visual of you sort of reaching down with your hand and pulling up a younger boy, someone that is needing some direction, someone that's looking for some encouragement, someone that's needing some wisdom, some insight, and that maybe you could share a little bit of what you've learned. Look, I know if you're 12 years old or 14 years old, it may be difficult, but when you're getting into your late teens, early 20s, there's enough there that you're able to find somebody that is, 11, 12, 13 years old that you can share some wisdom to. You can share some insight and begin to develop your abilities to mentor. And what you're doing there is you're beginning to learn how to lead, the elements of leadership, of, again, pouring into someone else's life and helping them as they walk through each rung of the ladder as they move and they progress into adulthood. So as you can see, the concept here is quite simple. The apprentice, when you're in the role of the apprentice, you're learning. When you're in the role of the contemporary, you've got a buddy. And when you're in the role of a mentor, you're leading now. You're guiding, you're learning, you're developing someone that's coming up behind you. I believe that if you can find these relationships throughout your life, not just at this young age that you're listening to this episode right now from, but going forward for the rest of your life, to always try to find one of these three or all three of these, if you can, to actually help impact you. Because what's happening as the apprentice, you're learning, you're developing some skills and some traits, right? As the contemporary, you've always got someone there that's got your back and that says, man, I know how you feel. It's just good to have somebody that just understands you. And as the mentor, you're developing your leadership skills and your ability to be able to bring people up to the next level. So why do this? Maybe the next question is, what's the reason for this? And I thought a little bit about this before I did this episode. And the obvious answer, which is obvious, is, well, it just makes you a better person. Well, you just become a better person. But I think it's more than that. Think about this for a second. What if in the last, let's say 20 years ago, if everyone in America, if all the young men in America began developing this strategy in their life, where do you think we as a country would be today? Can you imagine? What if it was mandated? I don't know that I agree with that, but just for the sake of argument, that we all have to find an apprentice. We all have to be an apprentice. We all have to be a contemporary, and we all have to be a mentor. Think for a minute what this world and what this country would look like if we were all adopting that philosophy. Here's my point, guys. The goal is to leave this world in a better condition than when we found it. That's the goal. That's the objective. And so while you are being fed information, you're being fed wisdom, and you're learning and you're growing, you're developing, you're also having someone that's walking alongside of you, because we all need somebody, right? No man is an island. We've all got someone we need to sort of be there with us. So we've got that relationship going, and then we're pouring into someone else. We're really a vessel, guys. We're just a conduit. As information's coming in, we're pouring it out to the next generation. And so I want to encourage you that maybe some of you don't even care that this doesn't matter, that it's like, well, okay, well, you talk about it and it's great, but what value, does it bring? Well, the obvious is it's going to make you a better individual. It's going to strengthen you. It's going to embolden you to as you move boldly through the your next stage of life. But I believe the goal here, and as I finish this out, is wouldn't it be nice to be able to leave a legacy behind that says, hey, that Tim Williams, he really had a great idea, and he did leave this world a little better, a little brighter, a little more positive than when he came into it. I just believe that. If someone were to think that, I don't know if anybody thinks that or not, but anyway, I like to dream and fantasize about that, but you get my point. If you are eager to minimize the frustration and the challenges and the drama that comes with life, and we all know that we have that, and it's to some extent we all have it. But if you're wanting to at least to minimize it as much as possible, here's another way you do that. Here's another Thrivehood concept that I think you should adopt, and that will help you move on to the next stage of life. And until next time, guys, stay strong.